We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos with an early pick four pool of $175,000 and a late pick four pool of nearly $170,000. Plus our pick six pools continue to reach record figures. Horse players, don't miss the Los Alamitos Winter Derby Final on Saturday, February 14th with 10 of the top sophomore sprinters at Los Alamitos. Big time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio and TV streaming show that comes to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard in your gaming capital. Of course, the South Point Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. And, of course, our local radio station here in town, Sports Talk, 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. If you're running around town listening to us on the radio, or certainly watching us on YouTube as well. We welcome you to the show and welcome all of the other folks that listen or see us on many different of the other platforms that we have, like our websites, Race Day Las Vegas with the .com, .global, .vegas, and all the other .world. We got that too. So you can get us through there, and then it'll feed you right into the YouTube feed. And of course, on our your phones, your devices, your iPhone, Android, or Google phone, you can get it with the apps. The KSHP app will get you the radio station listening through the radio station there, and of course the YouTube app you can put on your device to get our show through the YouTube streaming as well. And of course, anywhere you get your podcasting. Simply put, however, wherever, whenever. Welcome to the Race Day Show for this Thursday as we ramp up for the weekend. And you know, this weekend, especially Saturday, is going to start early in the morning because a half a world away in Saudi Arabia, it'll be the big Saudi Cup evening of racing there. It'll be early in the morning here. And certainly there'll be a lot of money up for grabs, and a lot of American horses will be in those races there. And of course, you'll be able to, I believe you'll be able to see and hear it on the FanDuel streaming, the FanDuel cable network as well. And of course, here at the South Point, the Saudi races will be broadcast here. However, our race book here at the South Point will open at 7 a.m. Now, the first races coming out of Saudi Arabia on the Saudi Cup night, the early races, start at 4 a.m. our time here. But one of them, of course, is an Arabian-bred race as well. So if you intend to want to bet any of those races before the 7 a.m. Opening of the book here, you can do that in advance. But the book itself will not be open for live racing that day on Saturday morning until 7 a.m. Pacific time. But the big Saudi Cup, the big $20 million Saudi Cup, will be run approximately 9:40 a.m. Pacific time here, featuring, of course, a lot of our American horses, and that we went over that yesterday. And so that will start out the day on Saturday, and then we'll move back to the good old US of A, where you'll have all of those great stakes races at the fairgrounds. There'll be 6 stakes races overall at the fairgrounds, a couple of grade 2s and a couple of grade 3s in addition, in conjunction with those 6. And, of course, the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks points will be on up for grabs in 2 of the races there at the fairgrounds. And on Sunday, 2 races at Sunland Park will also possess Kentucky Derby leaderboard points. So we got a big weekend coming up here as far as horse racing in looking ahead to the Kentucky Derby. And then you can add in pool number 4 of the Kentucky Derby Future Book Pari-Mutuel pool. Now, again, we have to stress that this is the Pari-Mutuel pool, which means the pool will open tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. The betting in that pool will continue through Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's when it closes. And at that time, they'll lock in the exact prices and the exact odds that you'll get on the horses. So if you bet it early, you'll still have to wait until the pool closes to find out what the exact odds is on your ticket for the Future Book. That is a Future Book Pari-Mutuel pool. It's, of course, hosted by Churchill Downs, and it'll be pool number 4, and that'll start tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Now, remember, Ted Naffy is out of this pool now, and so it'll be interesting to see who the betting public makes the favorite for this Future Book pool number 4. And that'll happen this weekend. And you can play that, of course, through the Pari-Mutuel outlets. So we got a lot of big stuff happening. On today's show, Jonathan Hardoon will not be with us today. He's okay, but he does have an appointment that he has to do this morning, and so he won't be with us. And Jerry Jackwitz texted me about 4 a.m. this morning. He has got he's got one of those bugs that hopefully it's just a 24-hour flu. So he won't be with us today, but both of those handicappers left me picks for you guys today. So you're going to get your picks from these guys as well. Jonathan, of course, has done his sheets, and so has Jerry. So the sheets will be out there as well for their customers there. Jonathan Hardoon will, of course, be back with us tomorrow, as well as Jerry. Hopefully, Jerry as well. He said he thought it was a 24-hour bug. But today we're going to get John Lindo to be with us a little bit early on in the show. And, of course, Rich Eng will be with us as well. I'm going to look at the 4 stakes races this weekend that possess Kentucky Derby and or Kentucky Oaks points with them. and that would be the Risen Star and the Rachel Alexandra that will be at the fairgrounds on Saturday, and the Sunland Derby and the Sunland Oaks that will be at Sunland Park on Sunday. And we'll go over that with John Lindo as well. We'll also find out the jockeys that won't be with us in the good old US of A this week because they have mounts in the Saudi Cup and the Saudi Cup program down there. So some of the jockeys will be missing here. So we're going to get some of the other jockeys picking up the slack, so to speak. We'll go over that with John Lindo as well. But taking a look right now, before we get started with the points that will be allotted this weekend, going into this weekend, the leaders with 25 points in the Kentucky Derby leaderboard. The Kentucky Derby leaderboard. Silent Tactic, the Mark Casse trainee, has 25. Renegade, trained by Todd Pletcher, also has 25. Intrepido has 23. You've got Plutarch that also has 23. A lot of people think that Plutarch's going to wind up the individual favorite for the Kentucky Derby Future Book when it's done on Sunday. We'll wait and see. Nearly has 20, along with Golden Tempo and Talk to Me Jimmy. So all of those three have 20 leaderboard points. Then you get to Litmus Test that has 19. That's a Bob Baffert trainee. Chip Honcho has 14. Soldier and Diplomat has 13, as well as Universe. Those two have 13. And then you have Grittiness at 11 and a whole bunch of others at 10. That's the way the leaderboard for the Kentucky Derby looks. Looking ahead to the Kentucky Oaks before this weekend's points are allotted for the winners of this weekend's races for the Kentucky Oaks. Going into this weekend, Explora is the leader for the Kentucky Oaks. She has 45 points already, 45 points for the Bob Baffert trainee Explora. Super Corredora has 34 points, so she's 11 behind the leader there. Then you've got Taken by the Wind, who has 30. Zany has 30 as well. So Taken by the Wind and Zany both have 30 behind Explora at 45. Then Meaning has 26. That was the recent winner over the weekend in the Las Virgenes. Meaning has 26. Dazzling Dame has 22, along with Life of Joy. Those two have 22. On Time Girl has 20, along with Search Party. Search Party also has 20. And then you've got Love Your Neighbor at 15. Percy's Bar at 14. Hit Parade at 12. Atropa, I should say, is at 11. And everybody else below them has 10 or less in the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard. Now, we're getting to the point, we're coming up this weekend, they're going to start bumping up the points that you can get in these prep races. For example, the Risen Star on Saturday will now have 50 points instead of 20, but 50 points for the leaderboard in the Kentucky Derby. That's the Risen Star. The Saudi Derby also on Saturday will hold 30 points. And then on Sunday, the Sunland Derby will again be down to 20 points. The Sunland Derby will only have 20 points allotted. And that so far is the races this weekend for Kentucky Derby points. As far as the Kentucky Oaks is concerned, the Rachel Alexandra, that will also go on Saturday. That will have 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks, 50 points for the Rachel Alexandra. The Sunland Park Oaks will just have 20. So the Sunland Park Oaks will only have 20 as well. So the two races at Sunland Park will get 20 points for the leaderboard respectively, and the two at the fairgrounds will get 50 points respectively. So we're starting to get going with all of these horses that are going to, no pun intended, jockey for position for the leaderboard and for favoritism for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks that comes up on the first Friday and first Saturday of May coming up. And you can see that we're almost right in the middle of February already. Taking a look at some of the items for today, Aqueduct has a 2-day pick six carryover exceeding $91,000. Aqueduct does. And as far as that decoupling situation that's going on in Florida, the Florida House the Florida House passed the decoupling bill. And that was expected by the racing community anyhow. It passed 77 to 34. This decouples the licenses of horse racing and the casinos, meaning that they'll be decoupling the revenue streams going in between those two as well, which could have a big effect for Florida racing. However, it is not a law yet because they expected it to pass the House. Now it goes over to the Senate, and they're waiting for the Senate to see how they vote on this new decoupling bill there in Florida. But there'll be a close watch by a lot of the people in racing and certainly a lot of the people in Florida racing. So we'll wait and see about that. Taking a look at what happened yesterday at Aqueduct that caused this carryover in the Pick Six. Well, the first race winner paid $12.72. Second race winner paid $6.80, and the third race winner paid $4.08, giving Manny Franco his first win of the day. And by the time they got to the fourth race, which was the start of the Pick Six, it was pretty noticeable that speed was very dominant. There was a speed trend yesterday as far as the trend on the racing surface yesterday at Aqueduct. So that was, of course, notable before the Pick Six started. So in the fourth race, Manny Franco came back for his second win of the day for Richard Dutrow. Dutrow and Manny Franco won together in the third race with the $4 horse, etc., and the fourth race that started out the Pick Six at $9.82. So those two together had a pair of victories back-to-back yesterday at Aqueduct. Fifth race gave Manny Franco his third win of the day, so he wins 3 in a row. And for trainer Todd Pletcher paying $7.10, it also gave Mike Rapoli, the owner, his first win as an owner of the day. The sixth race paid $12.30. The seventh race paid $5.96. That was Mike Rapoli as the owner, his second win of the day with a horse called Easy Decision, $5.96. The eighth race, long shot, $26.32. And the ninth and final race, a $10.26 winner that coupled Kendrick Carmouche and Linda Rice together to win the ninth and final. Didn't look like there were too many outstanding big bomb-type horses yesterday, but nobody connected the tickets. And so you have a two-day Pick Six carryover exceeding $91,000. 5 out of 6 yesterday paid $579.54. But the late Pick 5 that coupled the prices of $7.10, $12.30, $5.96, $26.32, and $10.26, the 50-cent Pick 5 did pay off. There were winners. That paid $9,667.78. And so we have a two-day carryover in the Pick Six today at Aqueduct. And another quick note that our handicappers yesterday drew a goose egg. Nobody had a winner yesterday on the Race Day show. We're going to try to turn that around for today, Thursday, as we start marching towards the weekend and some great weekend racing that's going to start early in the morning on Saturday. So we'll take our first break for the Race Day show. When we come back, I'm going to give you your racing menu, and then we're going to bring in John Lindo early just to take a look at some of those Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks point getters for the weekend. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time nighttime pools and great racing always at Los Alamitos with an early Pick 4 pool of $175,000 and a late Pick 4 pool of nearly $170,000. Plus, our Pick 6 pools continue to reach record figures. Horse players, don't miss the Los Alamitos Winter Derby Final on Saturday, February 14th, with 10 of the top sophomore sprinters at Los Alamitos. Big-time nighttime pools and great racing, always at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. And before we get started with our menu, let's take a look at the temperatures here in Las Vegas. 53 degrees. Right now, we're going to get up to 69, but it's a damp 53 degrees because it's overcast today, and we had a little moisture in the area yesterday, so it's kind of damp out there. You still need a coat or a heavy sweater, whatever. But we're going to top out at 69. We'll get back to sunshine a little into the 70s over the weekend here in Las Vegas. As far as racing is concerned today, Miami will be sunny and 77 degrees, so it's going to be fantastic racing as far as the conditions are concerned today at Gulfstream Park. Tampa Bay will also be 77 degrees there with a little bit cloud cover, but the racing should be fine there as well. As far as Aqueduct in New York, with that two-day Pick 6 carryover exceeding $91,000, you have New York is going to top out today at 38 degrees. It's going to be topping out at 38 degrees with a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of clouds, but it looks like no precipitation in the area. Chicago, 37 degrees. And then in Southern California, 69 degrees with a little bit of cloud cover. We'll wait and see from John Lindo. There may be some rain coming in the area for Southern California for this weekend's racing. We'll wait and check with John and the latest on the weather there. But it'll be 69 in L.A. today. Phoenix, Arizona, 80 degrees. Here in Las Vegas, as I say, we'll top out at 69. And yes, Brownsville, Texas is the hottest spot in the nation again at 85 degrees. So there you have it. As far as precipitation is concerned, looks pretty clear all around the country except for a little bit around Des Moines, Iowa. That's about it, and a little bit into Illinois. But outside of that, looks like it'll be just great racing weather as far as the weather conditions for today. So let's get started with your racing menu. Reminding you that the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here coming to the South Point today, these will be the first post times that roll out in our book. And if you're in the Pacific time zone, these will be your first post times as well. We are in the Pacific time zone. Everywhere else is going to have to adjust. Wherever you're at around the world that not in the Pacific time zone, adjust to it from wherever you're at. You'll tweak it out so you don't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay? We begin with Laurel Park. Laurel Park in Maryland. They've got 9 races today at Laurel and a small Pick 6 jackpot carryover. Their Pick 6 jackpot carryover at Laurel today, just $835. That at Laurel Park today, and a first post time again at 9 a.m. for their 9-race card at Laurel. Mahoning Valley. Mahoning Valley has a Pick 6 jackpot carryover of $7,470. That's their Pick 6 jackpot carryover at Mahoning Valley. 8 races, first post time, 9:15. And then we get to Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park has 10 races today. Good competitive card, it looks, today at Gulfstream. First post time is at 9:20. Now, their Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot carryover is starting to mount. The Rainbow Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $428,893 today at Gulfstream. $428,893 in the carryover in the Pick 6 jackpot at Gulfstream Park. And again, they also have a Super High 5, a regular Super High 5 carryover today at Gulfstream as well. That's $7,506. So they got 2 carryovers there today at Gulfstream. 10 races, and again, first post time is at 9:20 at Gulfstream. Tampa Bay Downs. They have 8 races today at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a first post time for their 8-race card set at 9:35 at Tampa Bay today. Aqueduct, the big A in New York. Well, let's see what's going on at Aqueduct. They say It is mostly cloudy and 34 degrees. The track will be fast today at Aqueduct. Pick 6 carryover, 2-day jobby, $91,497.70 to be exact. Aqueduct has 9 races today and a first post time of 9:40 at the Big A. I can only tell you that from the handicappers that I talked to yesterday and witnessing the races at Aqueduct yesterday, it was very much speed favoring there. What will happen today? We'll wait and see. Fairgrounds is next. They have 9 races today as they roll into the big weekend. First post time is 10:45 at the Fairgrounds. They have a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $42,169, and a first post time at the Fairgrounds is at 10:45 at the Fairgrounds. Turf Paradise. They've got 8 races today. The first race will be a quarter horse race. The last 7 will be thoroughbreds. That'll make up the 8 race card. And Turf Paradise still has that big pick 6 jackpot going there. It stands today at $444,586. $444,586 in the pick 6 jackpot at Turf Paradise. First post time is at 12:15. Delta Downs has 9 races. Their first post time is set at 2:45 at Delta Downs. Then we get to Turfway Park. Turfway Park has the highest carryover in their pick 6 jackpot in the nation today. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover now stands at $509,239. $509,239 in the pick 6 jackpot carryover at Turfway Park. They have 10 races there today and a first post time of 2:55 with full fields in all 10 races. And then we wrap it up with Charlestown. Charlestown has a pick 6 jackpot carryover of $12,383. They have 9 races, and their first post time is at 4 p.m. And that is the racing menu for today. We're going to bring in John Lindo early today from Southern California. A beautiful sunny day in Southern California. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. I guess we're starting to now hone in on kind of the the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks and the point-getting prep races that we have around the nation. And, of course, that'll be in conjunction with pool number 4 in the Parimutuel Future Book. This will be the first Parimutuel Future Book, I believe, that will have the vacancy of the top horse, Ted Nafi.
Right. He is not in this pool, so we'll see where the betting goes. One of the favorites is Paladin, and he's going to be in the Risen Star making his 3-year-old debut on Saturday. So that'll be interesting. And, not on the radar is that Saudi Derby, part of that Saudi Cup card in Riyadh on Saturday, too. I don't know if we'll get a Kentucky Derby horse out of there, but it is a Derby race. So we'll see what happens over there as well.
Yeah, that, I believe, has got 30 points for the Saudi, for the Kentucky Derby. And, the probables are there. We have some American trainers who have horses going in that race. Steve Asmussen is expected to enter Obliteration. Brad Cox is expected. These are probables now. I'm sure they'll be drawing. Did they draw for that yesterday, too? Do you know?
Races have all been drawn there. I don't have any past performances at all for any of the runners yet. It's a little bit early. So, yeah, I don't have much to go on out there yet. But the fields are big out there, as you would expect, with all the money on the line in Riyadh this weekend.
Yeah. Well, the American horses, at least the American trainers, as I say, Obliteration in My World. Kenny McPeak also sent out very, very connected. Doug O'Neill has a horse in there that a lot of people really kind of like. Acknowledged Me Please. And then, of course, those are the 4 horses in the bulky field with the American entrance in there. So we'll wait and see about that. And, of course, the Saudi Cup, as we know, has quite a few American horses as well. And the Saudi Derby is expected to go at 6 a.m. Pacific time. That's 6 a.m. Pacific time. And the Saudi Cup will go at 9:40 a.m. Pacific time. They'll have 9 races overall on the Saudi Cup a day. And as I say, the first race will start at 4 a.m. Our book here at the South Point won't be open until 7 a.m. Pacific time. And, of course, they'll have an Arabian race in there as well before the book opens here. So it's going to be early day at starting with the playing the races across the world.
Absolutely, and it's fun. It's fun to watch those things, and when you get a race for $20 million, it's and Bob Baffert's over trying to win his first Saudi Cup, so we'll see what happens there. And it's a race he wants to win very badly. He's got Nisos and Nevada Beach in there, so he brought his A list over there to Riyadh.
Well, coming up on Saturday in the good old U.S. of A. at the fairgrounds, the Risen Star, which is a Grade 2 holding 50 Kentucky Derby points to it. And the field that we have an 8-horse field in that. Universe is also entered in that, so we'll wait and see where this horse winds up. But they should already know whether he's going to go at the fairgrounds or a half a world away in the Saudi Derby for Kenny McPeak. But that horse drew post 1. Number 2 is Golden Tempo. This is a horse trained by Sherry DeVoe. Jose Santos will ride, and I can tell you this, a lot of people are already starting to back this horse. They really like the way this horse won the Lecomte in his last race. The 3 is Carson Street. That'll be a Brendan Walsh trainee who was third in the Lecomte. Paladin, as you say, a Gunrunner offspring, is the 4 horse for Chad Brown and Tyler Gaffleone, the winner of the Remsen earlier. Chip Honcho is the 5 horse for Steve Asmussen, 4th in the Lecomte. Colt 47 is number 6 for Keith DeSormo, and he just finished second in an allowance race, so he'll be an outsider. The 7 is Courting, a son of Curlin, Todd Pletcher, John Velasquez getting together. This horse was 4th in the Remsen, and then you got Quality Mischief breaking from the outside, Brad Cox and Florent Garreau, who was 5th in the Lecomte. So we got a lot of horses that ran into Lecomte that are coming back for the Risen Star.
Right, and that Remsen Stakes has already been validated. We saw Renegade come back last week in the Sam F. Davis to win that race for who was that? Is that Chad Brown, Renegade?
Yeah.
And he looked good doing it. He was second to Paladin in the Remsen, and Paladin has looked good in both of his starts. He relished the 1 1/8 last time. He ran past Renegade in deep stretch, makes his first start this year. Tyler Gaffleone gets the call for Chad Brown. Training regularly down in Florida, ships to fairgrounds for the race, and he's got enough tactical speed in a race where there isn't a whole lot of early speed. He ought to get a good trip in here. So I'm really interested to see where he is coming back as a 3-year-old. He's got to beat a horse that he beat in the Remsen, and that's Courting, who cost $5 million as a baby. I mean, that's an incredible amount of money. He was 4th last time in the Remsen, got beat 7 lengths, but I like the blinkers on for this horse. And if you've ever watched any of his works that are available on XB TV and things, he works like a good horse, and I think he'll relish the distance. The light hasn't come on for this horse yet. He hasn't figured it all out yet, but you can tell, the parts are there. So we'll see where he is coming back again off that layoff from December. I do think the blinkers on will help him. And if he ever just, turns it on, lays his body down, there's a lot of upside to Courting, but Paladin is definitely the horse to beat. And we're going to find out where Golden Tempo stands. He won the Lecomte there in the previous prep at Fairgrounds, but that race kind of fell apart late. It wasn't a particularly fast race, and he comes from way out of it in a race that's not going to be real fast early. He's going to be up against it a little bit in here. And if he wins this one against these kind of horses, he's going to jump right up into the contender list.
Yeah, I would think so. That's for sure. It's kind of like a litmus test for him after that win in the Lecomte. Now, on Sunday at Sunland Park, they're going to have the Sunland Park Derby. This thing's only going to have 20 points for the Kentucky Derby Future Book. But remember, last year, it was a very exciting finish in that race. I think Bob Baffert won it with his horse there last year. But there's a field of 8 in this race. And taking a look at it, there's not too many horses in this race that really, you can recollect as having things done in the past. The 3-1 favorite in this race is the rail horse Express Kid. Juan Hernandez is going to go. Juan Hernandez is riding for Justin Evans, and that'll be the rail horse at 3-1 on the line. And Doug O'Neill does send out a horse there, though, and that is Pavlovian. Pavlovian will have Edwin Maldonado and Jonathan Thomas as a horse in there. And John Velasquez is going to be out to ride at Sunland in the Sunland Derby for Jonathan Thomas, and a horse called Sharon's Beach, which sits there around 10-1 on the morning line. And, of course, Steve Asmussen having Way Beyond. His son Keith will ride it. One of the choices in there at 4-1 Bricklin. Christian Torres for Rudolph Brissett is 7-2, and Danico with Alfredo Juarez Jr. for Edward Karoluk at 9-2. So it's a competitive field, and I guess we'll find out more about where any of these kind of line up for the bigger picture.
Well, there's going to be one change in that race. Number 2, Sharon's Beach, is based in California. Will stay here,
Okay.
and he'll run Sunday in a maiden race going a mile at Santa Anita. So they threw him in the entry box. They decided to stay and try lesser horses. So he will be at Santa Anita on Sunday. That'll leave us a field of 7. But the story here is number 1, Express Kid, Ralph. This is a horse that I think he cost less than $20,000 as a baby. Shows up in Remington Park, and he wins the Springboard Mile at 34-1. He goes wire to wire. After that, last month, they put him in a digital sale online, and he brings $800,000. So you talk about hitting a home run. His previous owners hit a real home run with this horse. He's a Calbred of all things. So now Justin Evans gets a chance to step onto the Derby trail, hopefully. He has speed, he has the rail, and that's usually a good combination at Sunland Park. But he won't get an easy lead. There are a few horses in here that can run with him, including Bricklin, who was scratched out of the Southwest Stakes at Oaklawn last week. He's in the race for Rudolph Brissett. He's got speed. And the interesting horse here is number 4, 40-20 for trainer Robertino Diodoro. He's had 2 sprints, including a 12-length win at Turf Paradise last time. He's a half-brother to Take Charge Tom, who won the Riley Allison Futurity and the Mind That Bird at Sunland last year. The mare's only had 3 babies. They've all had a lot of quality to them. So he's a horse that I think has been prepping for this race to go stretch out. And he's by Candy Ride, so I don't think 2 turns is going to be any problem. He's kind of the wild card in this race, 40-20 for Robertino Diodoro. I don't know how good he is, but he won his last race at Turf Paradise like he's a nice horse.
Yeah.
We'll find out where he stacks up. The only horse from California would be Pavlovian, the Calbred for Doug O'Neill. Edwin Maldonado will be there to ride him. He gets blinkers back on after running 3rd last time in the Cal Cup Derby. And he's a horse that's going to sit back, and with a fast pace in here, he could tag a lot of horses. He's a horse that hasn't really figured out how to win yet. One of those horses that's still learning, but the further they go, the more he runs, the better he'll get. So interesting race, but Express Kid, let's see what $800,000 bought these guys last month.
Okay, we'll find out quickly enough if it was a bargain or not. And then, of course, the fillies. There's 2 races for the fillies, and of course the Rachel Alexandra at the fairgrounds on Saturday will hold 50 points for the Kentucky Oaks. And this race has a field of just 8. You've got Just Singing breaking from the rail for Kent Sweezy, and John Velasquez, I guess, will stay, certainly will be at the fairgrounds on Saturday. Classic Glide is the 2 horse. The 3 is Bella Ballerina. Brendan Walsh and Tyler Gaffleone get together there. That was the winner of the Goldenrod when she was a 2-year-old out at Churchill Downs. The 4 is Dancing in Old Town. Keith DeSormo, that horse there. Powered by Family is the 5 horse. We've got Love Your Neighbor, number 6 in the race. Mike Stidham and Luis Saez after finishing 2nd in the Silver Bullet Day. And then you got the Majestical. Peter Urton as a horse in this race that is, I guess, just won his maiden, her maiden, Majestical. And then Agrippina is the 8 horse for Lindsay Schultz and Paco Lopez. So it looks like a pretty interesting race there.
Yeah, the race goes through number 3, Bella Ballerina, coming back for Godolphin and Brendan Walsh. Won both their starts last year. Broke her maiden at Keeneland, went to Churchill Downs, stretched out, won the Goldenrod, like you mentioned. Trained at fairgrounds all winter, so she doesn't have to have one particular track. She's already won at 2 different places. This is a home track for her. She's been stable there for quite a while. Brendan Walsh is terrific with horses coming off layoffs. You get Tyler Gaffleone, and she's tactical in a race, Ralph, where there isn't much speed in here. And because of the way the pace shapes up, I think maybe the recent maiden win by number 7, Majestical, gives her some kind of a shot in this race. She sat on the pace last time in the maiden race, didn't go particularly fast. But when they asked her to run down the lane, she took off, and she won that race pretty easy. She might get the same kind of trip here in the Rachel Alexandra. We'll find out how good she is. The filly that is going to be coming from far back is number 5, Powered by Family.
Yeah,
I don't know if the pace is going to help her, but she flew home, but that was in the mud last time.
yeah.
So we have to find out, can she do that on a fast track? And if she does, she's got that turn of foot you like to see, especially for the Kentucky Oaks. Uh, Jose Ortiz, who rode both Majestical and Powered by Family, he stays with Powered by Family, who's trained by Cherie DeVoe, and that's kind of been his meal ticket down there in Louisiana. So I understand why he sticks with it, with a Cherie DeVoe horse.
Uh-huh.
And then on the rail, Just Singing with the Velasquez aboard, got close last time to Bella Ballerina, but she looked like she was going to run by, but she never did on the gallop out. So I don't know if Bella Ballerina was just playing with her last time in the Goldenrod, but Just Singing does have ability. So it's a good group of fillies here in the Rachel Alexandra.
Yeah, it'll start kind of putting a little bit of focus, a little bit of clarity on who's the leader for the Kentucky Oaks. It'll be the day before the Kentucky Derby on that Friday. And then, of course, the one with the 20 points for the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard is the Sunland Park Oaks. That's a field of 8, but it all goes through the 6-5 favorite there, Bottle of Rouge. Juan Hernandez going out to ride for Bob Baffert, and Bob Baffert's wife, Natalie, owns the horse. So it goes through the 4-horse there at Bottle of Rouge, I would think.
Right. And, she's already a grade 1 winner, and she shows up in the Sunland Park Oaks. This couldn't have been a race that was, an original target for her. She's coming off a layoff where she was beaten last time in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. It's a good spot to get a confidence boosting win. She's got enough tactical speed to lay close. The other horse from California, Cashed, a Calbred from the Doug O'Neill stable, just got beat a nose in the Cal Cup Oaks.
Yeah.
That was on the grass last time. She's won on the dirt. She's already was second in the grade 2 Starlet at Los Alamitos on the dirt, so she handles any surface. I think they kind of headline this field. Horses from outside of California that they have to watch. Number 8, Coffee Connection for trainer Todd Fincher, who does a lot of good down at Sunland Park. It's kind of his home park.
Yeah.
Comes off a win in a sprint race down at Sunland, takes off the blinkers and stretches out. She'll be up near the pace. And then from the fairgrounds, you have Pashmina for Rob Atras. Just ran, beaten less than 2 lengths in the Silver Bullet Day down there. A very honest filly, and she's tactical. So no real standouts in here, but there's some good hard knocking fillies that are trying to take the next step. And that's kind of where you're at. And you look at some of these fillies, very expensive babies. They want to get that black type on an Oaks win under their resume. And so I think for these kind of fillies, a filly like Not a Lady, number 3, she costs $775,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get an Oaks win under her name, being by Into Mischief, her value just jumps forward. So it's an important race for a filly like that.
Yeah, Steve Asmussen has 2 Into Mischief offsprings in this race. Touch of Magic, the 5 in the race, will be at 15-1, long shot there, and Not a Lady sits at 6-1 on the morning line. His son Keith will ride Not a Lady. So sometimes, you're talking about how the gamblers and players say, well, bet the longest price of the 2 horses uncoupled for the trainers. But I think in this case, Not a Lady is probably a little bit better than Touch of Magic.
Well, she comes off a second at Sunland there, so she's got local form, and his son Eric rides Not a Lady. So I'm thinking that's the more well-meant of the 2.
I think so. You're right. Taking a look at those races that have Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks leaderboard points to it. I want to thank you a lot for doing that for us today, John. And I know with all the work that you had so far on those, what's the Linda report look like for the rest of the week and weekend?
Well, we did Gulfstream Park, the late pick 5 today. For Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll do our normal schedule with Santa Anita and the Coast to Coast pick 5. No Gulfstream on Monday holiday, so we'll do Santa Anita. But there is racing at Oaklawn Park, and it's a good card, so I'll do that late pick 5 at Oaklawn Park on Monday as well.
And Monday, of course, is a holiday, and there's some tracks that will be running. We won't have a show, but there is some tracks running, and of course, the premier track that day, I guess between the 2, Oaklawn and Santa Anita, will be a nice Monday card to play on Monday. We're going to hold you over, John, if you don't mind, and we'll get you back with your regular segment and your pick coming up towards the end of the show. We want to thank you so much for going over some of these races with us today. I think it's going to be an exciting weekend of some good gambling, and we'll wait and see if we can pick out some winners there, that's for sure. We're going to take our next break. When we come back, we'll go to Rich Eng, and then when we come back off of that, we'll finish up with Jonathan Ardoon's picks, Jerry Jacko's picks, and, of course, John Lindo and his pick as well. Don't go away.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Now it's time to go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, now the Super Bowl is over. Now you're going to start gearing your sports handicapping towards college basketball. And, of course, we're going to get into March Madness, and that's only a couple of weeks away. So we'll be looking at you for that. If you had to tell everybody to kind of catch them up and get them up to snuff for the college basketball, who are the top teams that are playing right now in college hoops this year?
Well, the number one team in most everybody's poll is Arizona. They suffered their first defeat the other night. They went into Kansas, which is also a top 10 team, and Fog Allen Fieldhouse. But they were upset. But it was the kind of game, Ralph, that it could have gone either way. So Arizona is a clear number one. But as far as some of the other teams in the top 10, Michigan is probably either 2 or 3, trading places with the University of Connecticut. I mentioned Kansas and Duke, and a team that I really like and actually have bought a ticket on is Florida, the defending champions, Ralph. Florida started out the season very slowly. They were like a 500 team, but the last 4 weeks or so, they have been the hottest team in college basketball. I bought a ticket on them at 22-1, but they're the defending champions, and so I know they have pedigree to possibly repeat. But those are some of the top teams: Arizona, Michigan, Connecticut, Duke, Kansas, and Florida.
Okay, what about the alma mater, St. John's?
Well, they're in the top 20, not the top 10. And they beat UConn the other night in a game that I watched from start to finish. But the issue I have with St. John's, they look a lot like last year's team in the fact that they play fantastic defense. They rebound like crazy on both boards, offensive and defensive, but they do not shoot the basketball from 3-point very well. That's what killed them in the tournament game last year, Ralph. They were the team they played, I believe it was Arkansas, was just dying to get beat. But St. John's went something like 3 for 30 from 3 points and some ridiculous number. But the biggest issue for St. John's, they do not shoot the basketball well, but they play the other parts of the basketball very, very well.
All right. Well, we'll keep in tune with you for college hoops and start getting some picks a little bit later on. Your pick at Turfway Park got beat a zop at the wire last night. So let's get a winner today.
Yeah, it was like a half an inch when they put the photo up. I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
Turf. Let's go to a Fairgrounds. This is a turf-only pick. Race 8 at Fairgrounds, turf-only. Number 2, Contribution, 7-2 in the morning line. This horse for Brad Cox, the best race of his career was 2 back on the grass. Axel Concepcion has been taken off. Jose Ortiz rides, who gets all the main mounts for Cox now down in New Orleans. 2, Contribution, race 8.
All right, number 2, Contribution. In the 8th race today at the fairgrounds, Rich Eng's selection there. And, of course, Rich will be back with his selections for Santa Anita when that starts tomorrow. In the meantime, we'll get that Contribution, get him home in the 8th race today at the fairgrounds. Thanks a lot, Richie.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Good luck, everybody.
All right, now I'm going to give you Jonathan Hardoon's picks, and then I'm going to give you and Jerry Jackowitz picks, and then we'll get to John Lindo to wrap up the show. So let's start with Jonathan Hardoon. Jonathan Hardoon at Aqueduct likes in the 9th race. He goes to the 9th and final race, of course, in the pick 6 as well today. In the 9th and final race at Aqueduct, Jonathan likes number 7, It's Carol's Way. 6-1 on the morning line. The winner, the runner here that he likes in the 9th race is number 7, It's Carol's Way. Number 7 in the 9th race at Aqueduct. And Jonathan also has a pick today at Gulfstream Park. Going to Gulfstream Park, Jonathan goes in the 4th race. And in the 4th race at Gulfstream Park, Jonathan likes number 9, 5 Eyes on Michael. 5 Eyes on Michael is the name of the horse. The number is 9, and it's in the 4th race. 4th race, number 9, 5 Eyes on Michael. Jonathan Hardoon's pick for the show today at Gulfstream Park. Remember, he's got a full sheet at both Aqueduct and Gulfstream Park today. All right, and now we'll go to Jerry Jackowitz's pick, which he texted me in the middle of the night when he was sick, but he gave us a horse. He did not give us a link-ups, but I'm going to give you the next 3 top-rated horses in that race on his sheet as link-ups. Now, his pick for us today in the 8th race at Aqueduct is in the 8th race, number 7, Pocket Queens. Number 7, Pocket Queens is his pick in the 8th race at Aqueduct. The next 3 horses that are on his sheet as far as ratings are concerned are number 1, 4, and 6. Numbers 1, 4, and 6. So we'll make them the link-ups, numbers 1, 4, and 6 with the 7, which is the win bet, and the top pick in the 8th race for Jerry Jackowitz. And as you can see, Jerry and Hardoon come back-to-back, so I'm going to do a little Siraco double with them. I'm going to do the rolling double, 8th race, number 7, 9th race, number 7. So it's going to be a 7-7 double for these 2 guys back-to-back that begins in the 8th race at Aqueduct. And now we'll get out to John Lindo for his pick. John, again, good morning.
Good morning again, sir.
All right, John, I know you're doing the Lindo Report today has the last 5 races at Gulfstream Park. And if we can do the jockey trainer standings real quick and get your pick in, we'll do it.
All right, Red Ortiz Jr. is out of town, but he's the leading jockey, 66 wins. Tyler Gaffalione has 42. Edgar Zayas is in 3rd with 30. As far as the trainers go, Safi Joseph Jr., he's taken over the top spot. He's got 27 winners. Carlos David is still having a great meet, 25 wins. Mark Cassie has a solid 22 winners. And for you, Ralph, favorites are winning at 38% down at Gulfstream Park.
And his Lindo Report today features a late pick 5 at Gulfstream Park, the 6th through 10th races. That's the Lindo Report for today. You can get it here free of charge exclusively at the South Point Racebook, and, of course, complimentary to the players here because they love horse players here. John, we'll get a pick from you now.
Let's go to the 10th and final at Gulfstream Park. I thought number 6, Saratoga Flash, ran like a short horse coming off a layoff last time for Safi Joseph. 2 real good works out of that race. I think he's kind of perked up out of that. I expect him to run better, same level. 9-2 in the program. I don't know if we get that, but if we get anything over 3-1, that's a bargain. Race number 10, number 6, Saratoga Flash. Race 10 at Gulfstream Park.
All right, 10th and final race at Gulfstream. Tyler Gaffalione riding for Safi Joseph Jr., and that is number 6, Saratoga Flash at Gulfstream today. 10th race, the 6th horse. Don't forget his late pick 5 coverage, the Lindo Report, available right now at the South Point. Well, John, I want to thank you so much for filling in for our other 2 handicappers, but we'll have a full stable of our handicappers back tomorrow on the Friday show. And in the meantime, since Jerry is a little bit under the weather, you're the man that's going to send us out on the Race Day show today.
Have a great race day, everybody.